Southwest. Now, following several attacks on farmers across the country, the Nigerian military has taken steps to protect them and other stakeholders in the agricultural sector, especially those in the north central, northwest and northeast zones of Nigeria from terrorists and bandits. This move is not only to save them from attacks, but to also ensure food security in the country. The High Command of Military Joint Operations, codenamed Operation Safe Haven, also organized a seminar for critical stakeholders towards achieving a successful farming season in the joint operations area cutting across the entire Plateau State, local government areas of Southern Kaduna, and 2 local government areas of Bauchi State. The meeting also highlighted the crucial role of the agricultural sector in the overall development of any nation. Joining us in the studio is an agriculturist and managing director, Bama Farms, Prince Wale Oyekoya. Good to see you.
Nice to see you. Good morning.
Over the years, we've been talking about farmer header crises. We've been talking about insecurities on our farms, etc., leading to food crises and food insecurity. How do you receive this news, of the military, Nigerian military, saying that, well, we want to be at the forefront of this to ensure that this planting season is peaceful and safe for our farmers?
Well, it's a welcome idea, but with mixed feelings. If you know how the numbers of farmers we have in the country, with the numbers of the soldiers we have, we already have enough problem in the Sambisa or in the northeast, in the northwest, with all these banditries and the Boko Harams are still there. But now for the military to be saying they are going to safeguard the security of farmers, I don't know how it's going to work, because this thing has been going, even the Obasanjo tried, it couldn't work. Good luck, Jonathan tried, it couldn't work. Even Buhari tried when they tried to send the military to some strategic areas of farmers. But how many farms or farm settlements are the military going to guide? And I have a mixed feeling, as I said. If this is the same military that wanted to safeguard the security of farmers, they themselves are culprits, in the sense that we keep on talking of northeast, northwest. What about in the southwest? Recently was in December that even the same military that's supposed to guide the farmers are the one that came to Lagos State and dragged away some of these farmers. I'm talking over 100 farmers, and took over the farm because they said the land belongs to them. The land that have been lying down for the past 50 years since 1974. If it is true that the government is really serious about safeguarding the security of farmers and food security in the country, it shouldn't be the military. If you go towards a talking to Ekpe, as I'm talking right now, if you go towards the Eredo, all the same Ekpe region, that is why we have the concentration of our farmers. The military have taken over. Even the governor of the state have tried to get hold of this military men. What is really going on? Why coming to Lagos and take all our farmlands? Even the land belongs to the military. There should be a system check between the state government and the federal government, not just to drag away the farmer, no notice. There was no notice given to any farmer. They just came overnight in hundreds of them and sent away all the farmers. So is it the same military are going to guide the farmer that we are talking about? As I'm talking right now, the governor of Lagos, they have tried all his possible best. Even Jimmy Benson, that happened to be the chairman for the military in the House of National Assembly, they have not got hold of voting. We're talking about 100 farmers. We're talking about indirect employment in thousands that have been laying fallow.
Well, these are issues, separate issues, that of the lands, which the farmers in Lagos State, in the southwest,
yes,
are actually, cultivating.
Yes.
But this in focus is the one in Plateau State, due to the insecurity and all of that.
Sure.
So if you are saying that the military would not be able to do that, the military is not expected to do this, owing to, some happenings in different regions, are you saying that it has to be someone else who will take over, the affairs of the farmers to ensure that there is peace and security in the land and on the farms?
The military are not meant to safeguard the farmer. All over the world, there are something they call patrol, the military patrol. It's not for the farmers. You understand? Yes, we understand the insecurity that is going on between the herders and the farmers. But if there's a general security in the whole country, the issue of military coming in to be the security for the farmer will not have come in. I think what needs to be done is that the military know what to do. The federal governments they know what to do. But there's no way you will tell me that for the past almost 20 years that we keep on having the same security problem with the herders and farmers. It's very simple. Why can't you let most of these cattle be in the ranches? Anywhere in the world, there's ranches. Gone are the olden days that you just allow the cow to roam about the streets. We see them in Lagos that are supposed to be metropolitans. Not to talk of Jos. Most of these states that they invaded, they knew what they are doing, that during the dry season, they cannot get grass for their cow or for their animal. So what do they do next is to target the farmers. So the military, how many places are going to be at the same time? They have the area patrol that they can use and know where these people are coming from. And these people will not even strike during the days. I'm talking of the headers or all these bandits. They come in the night. They take over the whole community. You understand? So what I'm trying indirectly is that let the government, now it's in the National Assembly that they wanted to pass the bill for the
open grazing law.
Yeah, for the open grazing. We are in the 21st century. Why cow grazing around? I understand that the herders, they have a right to their cattle. Their cattle need to eat. But there should be a way where you confine them. Even by the time you confine them to ranches, you will see that they will be more beefy. They'll be more robust than just roaming about. Gone are the days that we have to be. You remember in the olden days in the Lagos, once you see a cow coming, everybody will run away. It's still happening in some places. So, and you know that food security, the three things that the government needs to provide: food, security, and shelters. And all these three things are lacking. There's no food for common man to eat. Go to the market, you see high cost of food productions. The security is not there. The shelters is not there. Because look at the IDP. You pity these people if you go to the IDP. I was once there in Bama, in Maiduguri. You pity these people. So the security is not there. The food is not there. So a lot of things need to be done.
And a lot of persons have suggested the non-violent approach in resolving some of the crises between the farmers and the herders. But it seems that this has not brought as much, as much result as expected. But let's talk about how realistic this plan by the military is and how sustainable it will be in the long run, looking at the fact that we are in the wet season and farming should have started now.
Yes, definitely, as I said, this problem has been lingering on for so long. For military to come in now, I wouldn't rule it out. But how is it going to work out? They have not brought it out. There have been so many policies on how to settle the issues of herders and the farmers. But the implementation is always the issue. We will sit down like this on the round table, let's do this. But until the right thing is being done, that ranches should be practiced in all states, not even the all states, in all the local governments, all the 774 local governments. We used to have farm settlements. Farm settlements, cow will be somewhere, the farmer will be somewhere, and even the leftover of the grasses from the farmers, maybe when they cut the shrub like the maize or granite, can be given to farmers. We're supposed to cohabitate together. But the way they are doing now, they are sending away the farmers, and they are taking over because of the weapons they have. Most of the farmers, you see, they don't have any weapon to defend themselves. But you see all these herders with AK-47, where did they get it from? They cannot afford these guns. How did they get it? That is where the government needs to investigate. And if they can get some of this weapon out of these people, trust me, they don't have any power anymore. And who are the people financing these herders? Who are the people financing these kidnappers? You will see the way a man or some of these groups that are demanding millions of naira, you see their dress, you know that definitely somebody is sending them. Definitely some of this money is going somewhere. That is why the government really needs to look into. To me, military coming in right now is not the issue. Because no. We have a bigger issues to defend.
Are you sort of resigning to fate? You know, especially when you said that OBJ tried, he couldn't do it. Jonathan did. Former President Muhammad Buhari also did, and now we have President Bola Tinubu at the helm of affairs. Are you saying that with tackling this insecurity in our farmlands, they won't be able to achieve it?
It will not be able to be achieved. I will come here next year and we will sit down at the same thing. You know why? As I keep on saying, is the implementations of it. The president is doing his possible best. The people that are supposed to be on the field to do it will be the problem.
Okay, so we actually want you to expatiate on that because it won't be good enough for us to resign to fate and say things will remain like that. But then we'll come back to you. We'll just have to quickly go on a break. Do stay with us here on TVC Breakfast. We'll be back in a moment.
The future belongs to the dreamers, to the doers, to those who are not afraid of the side hustle. It's for those who are ready to turn their passion into something big. And to help keep you revitalized and inspired, Top Tea is with you every step of the way. You are made for more. Find your inspiration. Top Tea, big round bags of flavor.
Thanks for staying with us here on TVC Breakfast. We've been talking about food security, especially with the military planning or promising to take over farmlands to ensure the farmers are able to go to their farmlands to cultivate their crops and also, especially during this planting season. So we've been speaking with our guest in the studio, an agriculturist and managing director, Bama Farms Springs, Wale Oyekoya. Thank you so much for keeping the time with us. But so we were actually trying to understand your point of view when you said that past governments have not been able to achieve insecurity, and that you do not think that there will be any difference, in this current administration with the approach they're going through. But we can't resign to fate. We can't watch what is going on our farmlands and even different places unconcerned.
My brother, I'm the one on the field. We know what we go through. If the federal government really wanted to do it, they should put the blame on the doorstep of the state governors. You know why? Because they all collected security votes.
But they would say that they are only chief security officers on paper. They do not have the power to control the military.
Give them the power.
The Nigerian police.
Give them the power. The police will even be more palatable to do this work than the military. In the sense that the military hands are tied. They are very overwhelmed with all the security going on, not to talk of monitoring the farmers. We have all these 36 governors. What did they do when they collected the security votes? Now, each state is supposed to have their own security outfit, like we have the Amotekons, all kind of stuff. Why can't they use some of this money to improve on the security apparatus of the states? Everything should not be federal government. Why should the federal government, why should the military be coming to Ogun State or to Lagos State to mind their farmers? Why can't the state governors safeguard the security of their own farmers if you are really serious about food security?
So in talking about states taking over, the security affairs of their state, there is this conversation about state policing, saying that each state should be able to also have its own police in order to ensure adequate security. What do you throw your weight here? Is it behind the creation of state police, or you feel that it might also be abused by these governors?
Well, every law is meant to be abused, but when you get to the state, it is going to get its own level. I still believe that the state security should be the way out. See, we are inviting the military now to come to help the farmers. When the time goes on, we will be the one blaming that these people are too ruthless. They'll just be beating people here. Like these people, when you talk of the military, as I said, they are not the ones to come and defend the farmers. At the end of the day, we are going to be complaining that they are abusing us. For the little time they come to our farms in talking to Ekpe, we know what we faced. We know what we are going through. These people are trained to kill. They are trained not... You can't expect a military just to sit down and be watching the farmers. It'd be very burden to him. And all that stuff will be happening, that we'll be blaming the system that why are we bringing the military to the town or to the village.
And what is the place of data gathering in ensuring that some of these perpetrators are brought to book? I believe some of the issues that they have in that region is an issue of data. We had, because of this issue, we had the NIN introduced to identify some persons perpetrating these things. Food insecurity is at an all-time high right now, and Recently, we had some cases of Nigerians, some persons looting a warehouse, a private-owned warehouse. So you know how much damage has been done. What should be done at this time?
You see, the N9 you are talking about, I don't think it's helping us. Because if it is helping us, when they ask for a ransom, right now you cannot go to the bank without the NIN, without your BVN. I believe there should be a way to arrest these people. And you have to remember that some of these NIN that we Nigerians are taking for granted, places like people from Niger, from Chad, from Cameroon, they have this NIN more than we Nigerians. So it's very difficult to track them. Because once they commit a crime, they leave the country to their own country. And we'll be looking at, it's not really Nigerians that are really involved with this kidnapping. But as I keep on saying, if the federal government really want to work, they will know how to track and trace these people. Why do we have all these air forces with all the planes that can go in the air and track these people? How could you tell me that they arrest about 100 students were kidnapped? These are 100 people, not 100 ants. And they line them up, and there's no area command that can get them from the air, maybe through the Air Force. To me, the government knew it. Maybe they don't want to step into some toes, but until they started stepping on people's toes, nothing will be resolved. All these kidnappers that they've been talking about, how many people have been arrested, how many people have been prosecuted?
But then the military in question, have actually engendered the release of the 8 rescued students of Confluence University of Science and Technology, in that state. And then, they actually made this known during the time they told us that they will be taking over farmlands. They will be ensuring peace, farmlands. Do you not feel that this is enough morale booster, for the community? Because it's not only the military that should look at the affairs of their community. Because those who come to destroy their farmlands, those who come to attack them, kidnap them, and all of that, most of the time act in collaboration with people within the community. So do you not feel that it's very important, sacrosanct for community leaders, the community themselves, to ensure their own policing in collaboration with the military?
Every local government should have vigilantes. But they know the people living in the community. If they see a stranger coming in, they will know that this is not part of us. But if you don't really strengthen the power of the local vigilantes, these banditries, these headers will overpower them. And that is exactly what is happening. They will slaughter them like a ram.
But they can serve as intelligence,
exactly, to the military.
To the military.
And give the information to the police. Because, see, the military are not in the position to arrest citizens. It's the police. But once informations are gathered, it could be passed through the military. The military can just use their power to arrest people there and hand over to the police. But it's not for the military to be in the city or to be in the rural area or to be safeguarding the farmers. No.
Yeah, but you have actually described the difficult, the hydra-edged insecurity being perpetrated by these, corporates.
Yes.
You are saying that it's so magnificent that even the police, if I can imply from what you've said, even the police might find it difficult to handle them. So do you not feel we do not have any other thing other than the police, except the military, to ensure that there is peace in the land?
I think the solution is to find the roots for this problem. What really brings the issues of kidnapping? How did it get to this level? And if the problem is not tackled from the root, there's nothing the military can be done.
And the root in this case?
The root is that all this open grazing need to be stopped. In the National Assembly, somebody was equating a cow to be a citizen. One of these lawmakers in the National. How are you going to equate? So now you tell me, if a cow is killed in the presence of this of this Senate or whatever, definitely it's going to defend the headers against the farmers.
Well, that's what you think. But if if you go to India, you know how cow is being rated there. And then cow here in Nigeria is actually a commodity to a lot of people who are herders. Maybe that is what the lawmaker was trying to say. So does
that mean that you should pay the life of a cow?
You can't destroy my business in the name of it's just an animal. It's just, a beast of burden. But then it should be accorded some respect because it's an investment. Maybe that's exactly what.
So what about the farmers' investment that they have come to the farm to destroy? Well, I've seen a band of yams. I'm talking of tons of yams, and these herders just bring their cow and eat it. So how are you going to defend that farmers? So if you can defend the cow that come and eat the farmers' crops, but the farmers cannot raise the same issue, no, it's wrong. So the best thing is let everybody know their own space. Let everybody stay in their own lane. Create a place for them to raise their cow. If you know you cannot find a ranches for some of these people, some local government might not have the land for them to have these ranches. Like in Lagos State, they don't have the land. But at the same time, as I keep on saying that, Lagos State is meant to be processing. They are meant for the value chains. Let them bring all this farm produce from the other places and process in Lagos. Lagos have no business to be in the farming or to be caught because there's no land. But there's a land for processing. And you make more money in terms of value chain, improve, just like the rice mill we have in Lagos State. And I'm glad that the federal government is coming back for them to lift the ban on the importation of some of this paddy rice. Let them bring the paddy rice. You see how rice will be so surplus in Lagos State. They have the biggest machine in West Africa in Lagos State, just lying down fallow because it's underutilized. It's underused because there's no paddy. But if the government can give the Lagos State license to bring this paddy into Lagos, I bet you the price of rice will come down to the BRS minimum. I'm not saying to 10,000, but like 25,000.
And talking about the price of rice, past governments have really focused on the production of rice from about 10 to 15 years. And according to data by the Bureau of Statistics, it still says Nigeria is not still one of the top highest producers of rice. That aside, I want to take you up on your what you said earlier about the fact that some of these perpetrators are not Nigerians. This brings attention to some of the issues with our borders. Borders control, how porous our borders are. How should this be addressed? Since we are discussing about addressing it from the root, how about finding a way to, man our borders to be strong enough that external elements will not be able to come into the country?
We have thousands, thousands of borders that enter from Niger, Benin Republic to Nigeria, that most of our immigrations are concerned cannot man them. It's even better in the south here. Go to the north. It's very, very risky. The way they use their machine, that the Niger people or the Shah people come into the country, you'll be surprised. And you cannot totally differentiate between the Nigerian Fulani and Niger Fulani. Once they speak their language, you think they are one. But they are not. Coming back to what you just said about rice production.
But then you're only saying that you're only describing the porosity of our borders.
Yes. And
it's not necessarily the Fulanis are the one perpetrating, this criminal act, because the Kautahure, that's the body, the ethnic body of the Fulani have actually, decried this situation and said that these people are just people from outside of the country and not part of them. Just to set the record straight.
Yes, that's exactly what I said, that most of these crimes are being perpetrated by foreigners. Yeah. But any nation that cannot defend its border, then you invite so many crimes into your country. Look at what happened between the U.S. and Mexico. Look at the long border they put just to keep off the Mexicans in entering to the United States. So you have to be able to spend to defend your own people, because security is very important. And it's even affecting our foreign investors coming to the country. But they feel that Nigeria is not safe, we like it or not. They feel that we are not safe. And if we, the citizens, are complaining, talk less about the foreign investors coming to the country. But coming back to the rice production that you are talking about, there have been so many deceits with our government saying that they are producing rice, running to the CBN, collecting billions of naira on behalf of their state that they are producing rice. I've seen it plainly that all this pyramid that you are seeing, that I knew when I was the chairman, Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry in the agri sectors. We went to one of these exhibitions. I will not mention the state. Or if I mention the state, there's nothing that's going to happen. It's already gone. So that they will not think that we are fools. It's bunch of, they put rice on top, and the rest is sandbags, just to deceive the government that they have used the money to produce. And you know, the president or the CBN governor coming will not look at the whole pyramid of rice. He will just look at, oh, this is our rice production. And that is why we are suffering for it. There have not been no sincerity. And not everything we need to produce in Nigeria, I keep on saying it, like in rice, we are not really doing good in rice production.
So you were saying that, you are saying that the monies, the loan that was granted to farmers back in the day during the past administration were not, utilized the way it was meant to. That's why we are having, we are not having enough rice.
Let me tell you the lies that really go around, that they gave billions to farmers. And I keep on saying all the time I appear on the television that most of the farmers we are talking about, the money that have not got to them. One way or the other, it disappears on top before you get here. They will get your data. They will collect all your data and take it to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture or to the World Bank or to the AFDB that they have some farmers. With the size of the farm that I have in Lagos, I have never enjoyed a single thing from either from the federal government or anything. So if I have over 100 acres of land, I cannot benefit, talk less of the little people that are the small farmers. So what I'm trying to say is that there should be a body to monitor how this money gets to the farmers, not to the hands of the political farmers.
That's right. Well, so it's a fine place to leave it. There's so many issues that are up for discussion, because, talking about farming and all of that, it's serious issues we are facing in the country. We really appreciate you for your time on the show this morning. But then we hope that the Nigerian government will eventually find a solution to the problem facing us in the country. Thank you very, very kindly. Agriculturist and Managing Director of Bama Farms, Prince Wale Oyekoya. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And stay with us here on TV.